Selecting stitches on the Pfaff Ambition 620 is as easy as touching a button. When you turn your machine on, you are brought immediately to stitch number 1. Now, there's times where I'll have more information on my screen because I've touched the I button. This will give us a suggestion for what needle we have, what foot we're using, the IDT information, the tension, and these numbers stay on the screen all the time. So let's talk about selecting stitch width, stitch length, needle positions, and then how to change to different stitches. On a straight stitch, all we need to know is stitch length for starters, and that's the 2.5. Watch as I touch the plus. It highlights. So if there's any time where the number has been highlighted, I have changed it past its default option. And I can actually see how high or how long this stitch will be. So at 5 millimeters, when I start to sew, that's going to be a really long stitch. I also can change the setting while I'm sewing. So if I'm looking for the perfect stitch length, just reach up here while you're sewing and minus it or plus it as you go. Now, a way to get back to the normal settings is easily just go ahead and touch that same stitch. So if I come up here and touch stitch number 1, it goes back to normal. So instead of me pushing these buttons until I get to a number that's no longer highlighted, just touch or reselect the number to clear it out. I've also had students just turn the machine off and turn it back on. That does it as well. So if we are looking for a zigzag, we'll change and pick stitch number 4. A zigzag is going to come up on your screen, and now we have length and width. So length, now watch this. You see that zigzag getting longer? This is going to be actual size. So if you're very visual, you're going to love that feature with this machine. So this will go as long as 7 millimeters long and 7 millimeters wide. Again, that was a lot of changes. So if I just reselect stitch number 4, it'll take me back to the default setting. Again, I could change these settings while I'm sewing. So if I want to see what a longer zigzag is going to look like or a shorter one, I can change it while I go. And also same thing with the width. Okay, so easy to do. Let's just push number 4. Watch those settings go back to normal. Now let's go back to a straight stitch. Again, we're back to normal because we changed off of it to a different stitch. And the last thing I want to show you is needle position. So right now this line looks like it's in the center of that row, which it is. Needle position is in the center. But this machine actually has 29 needle positions. Now, right now the needle is down, and that would be okay. If I wanted to actually change the needle position with the needle in the fabric, it won't actually move until it actually comes all the way up, and then it will move to that side. But let's just actually bring the needle up manually and then move the needle position. You can see that needle moving to the far right. So it will go 3.5 times to the right, and then it'll go 3.5 times to the left. Look at all those increments. They total 29. It's pretty awesome. But again, if I just want to go back to center needle position, touch number 1, and it's easy as that. As you're looking to pick other stitches from the chart up above, whatever number is showing, so if you just want stitch number 71, dial it in, and then the stitch width and length default comes up. But of course, you can change it and make it, well, some stitches you can change. You can make it different lengths and different sizes within the normal range. As soon as you go back to a straight stitch, those will clear out. But it is so easy to get around this machine. Pick the length and width that works for you. See it on screen. So if you're very visual, you can see it before you sew it.